For module 2.1, we are going to be again talking about a case study. Now, the case study is the partnership Precipice, rebuilding trust and respect in a business collaboration. Now, the background of the case study is Rajesh and Sanjeev, two ambitious entrepreneurs, co founded Tech Innovations, a promising startup in the IT sector. 5 years ago, this was. Rajesh was the visionary, excelling in product development and technical strategy. Both had their own fields, while Sanjeev was the operation and the finance wizard. Their complementary skills led to rapid initial success. They started the company, they shared a strong bond both professionally and personally, and often spoke about their unbreakable partnership. Yes, we have seen that kind of a bond, that kind of a partnership in so many of the Hindi movies. Now let's go on to the erosion, or how did the lack of trust and respect happen. Over the past 1 year, subtle cracks began to appear, gradually widening to a chasm, enlarging of the gap. Initial incident, what happened initially, how it all began. So seeds of distrust were planted, Rajesh, under immense pressure to develop a new product or to deliver a new product, made a critical technical decision without consulting Sanjeev, which led to a significant cost overrun. While the product eventually succeeded, Sanjeev felt bypassed and disrespected. In any partnership, if you're not consulted, you feel disrespected. He began to question Rajesh's judgment and commitment to join the decision. Escalation. What happened further? Lack of respect in communication. Sanjeev, feeling aggrieved, started subtly undermining Rajesh's ideas in team meetings, sometimes making sarcastic remarks about solo decisions. Rajesh had made a solo decision which did not run well. Rajesh, in turn, began to dismiss Sanjeev's financial concerns as overly cautious and lacking vision. The communication became terse, formal, and often passive aggressive. Their communication became terse, formal, and often passive aggressive. Behavioral manifestation consequences, how they behaved, how did it affect to whatever the work that they were doing. Trust deficit. Obviously, there was. Rajesh started withholding information from Sanjeev, hiding things, fearing criticism. Sanjeev conversely began checking Rajesh's work meticulously, convinced he won't be fully trusted. So they lost respect and trust for each other. Loss of respect now, each partner felt the other didn't value the expertise or contributions. Rajesh felt Sanjeev didn't appreciate the creative risk he took, while Sanjeev felt Rajesh didn't respect the financial stability he painstakingly maintained. Trust issues. Team impact. They were working in a tandem, but then gradually drifted apart. The tension between the co founders permeated the entire organization. Employees became hesitant to approach either of them, fearing getting caught in the crossfire in between their fight. Productivity began to dip and innovation stalled. Everything was moving at a very slow pace now. Personal strain. Their personal friendship deteriorated, dinners became awkward, and they avoided each other outside of work. They would come to work together, but besides that, their personal life suffered immensely. Now, what was the analysis through the human value framework that we've been talking in the module? From a human value perspective, the issues were lack of trust. This stems from a misunderstanding of intention initially. Both trusted each other's positive intent for the company's success. However, Rajesh's unilateral decision led Sanjeev to doubt Rajesh's intention to act collaboratively. Even if Rajesh's underlying intent was still the company's good, Sanjeev's subsequent actions reinforced Rajiv's feeling that Sanjeev didn't trust his capabilities because of the initial decision that he had taken. The trust in human values means being assured of the other's inherent desire for your happiness and prosperity. The assurance that they had for each other was all lost and gone. Then we had lack of respect totally. This is about right evaluation. Both Rajiv and Sanjeev failed to rightly evaluate each other. Rajesh failed to respect Sanjeev's role as a co founder and financial expert by making a unilateral decision. He did not evaluate Sanjeev's competence and contribution as equally vital. He didn't think that Sanjeev's input was as important. Sanjeev, in turn, disrespected Rajesh by publicly undermining him and reducing him to his single mistake. By one mistake, he started to judge him rather than evaluating the overall vision and technical prowess. He failed to see Rajesh as a complete individual with strengths and weaknesses, but focused only on perceived flaw, on whatever had gone wrong. Respect also involves acknowledging an other person's individuality and understanding their perspective. This was absent in their interactions. Both of them started to do it to each other. The intervention and path to reconnection. Now, how are we going to bridge the gap that was in between Sanjeev and Rajesh? Alarmed by the declining business and the personal toll, their common mentor, Mr. Sharma, stepped in. Now, what did Mr. Sharma do? He facilitated a series of mediated discussions, guiding them using the human value principle. How did it happen? Acknowledging the problem at first. Both Rajesh and Sanjeev admitted their unhappiness and their negative impact on the business. This was the first step towards willingness that they had to take to change. Re-establishing trust in intention. Now, Mr. Sharma guided them to reflect on their original shared vision and mutual respect when they began the company. He helped Sanjeev understand that while Rajesh's action was flawed, his intention was to benefit the company. Similarly, he helped Rajesh to see that Sanjeev's criticism stemmed from his intention to protect the company's financial health, not to maliciously attack him. Now, the action, they verbally affirmed their belief in each other's positive intentions towards the tech innovation company that they had begun. Then is practicing right evaluation and respect. What was Rajesh's role in it? Rajesh acknowledged Sanjeev's experience in finance and operations, expressing genuine appreciation for his steady hand. He committed to involving Sanjeev in all significant strategic and financial decisions going forward from that episode. He apologized sincerely for his unilateral decision. How about Sanjeev's role in it now? Sanjeev acknowledged Rajesh's visionary leadership and technical brilliance because Rajesh was technically bright, recognizing that the company's core innovation came from him. He committed to expressing his own part and concerns constructively and privately rather than publicly undermining Rajesh. And what was the action or the outcome of it? They started by listening and listing each other's strengths and contributions to the company, focusing on evaluation of the whole person, not just isolated actions, not only one isolated action, but as a whole. Now, open and honest communication started to happen. They established a weekly partnership checking meeting specifically for open dialogue where they could express very freely about challenges, about decisions, and even personal feelings impacting their work. They set ground rules for respectful disagreement and active listening. And the outcome for the same was they practiced the I statements. I felt dismissed when somebody else commented, instead of you statements. You always dismiss my ideas. Commitment to mutual development. They reorganized and recognized that their individual growth was tied to their mutual growth. They started supporting each other and in learning new skills relevant to their roles. Rajesh was technically inclined, whereas Sanjeev was financially inclined. What happened as an action? Rajesh offered to teach Sanjeev more about technical aspects, and Sanjeev offered to help Rajesh refine his financial projections. Now, they did this barter system. They understood each other well because they wanted their company to grow, company to flourish. And now, how did it happen? By conflict resolution. Conflict resolution that human values teach us. Now, in this case study that we just saw about partnerships precipice, let's see what the outcome was. And the outcome was that within 6 months, the changes were palpable. Their intention at tech innovations were strengthened, the tensions were dissipated, replaced by a renewed sense of collaboration and purpose. Rajesh and Sanjeev's partnership was not just restored, it became stronger, more resilient, and more conscious. They learned to value their differences as strengths rather than sources of conflict. The company thrived again, and their personal friendship also revived, built on a deeper understanding of trust and respect. Now, what was the key learnings, the basic learning principles that came out, which will be easy for us to understand and relate to? Now, trust is about intent. It is about intention, how you want to make the other person believe on you. Then we have respect, and it's right to evaluation. That if we respect a person, how do we evaluate that person? Then we have interdependence of trust and respect. How throughout the module we have seen that trust and respect go hand in hand. Where there is trust, there will be respect also. Where there is no respect, there will be no trust also. Then we have communication as a critical juncture. So we need to be very transparent with our communication in good relations if we have to maintain the stability of the relation. Then we have conscious effort, which is required. We have to make that understanding. We need to be mindful of the effort that we are making to bridge the gap or to maintain the relationship, to maintain the company in between the relationship. Then impact extends beyond individuals. Why? Because there was a company which was involved. There were employees which were involved. So Rajesh and Sanjeev did not have to only think about themselves. They had to think about the well-being of the company, about the well-being of the employees or the people associated with the company.